contract says if they're selling it as is, there's just not a lot of wiggle room there, and buyers are having to get creative today when they're buying a house. But why would it be important, first of all, what is a pre-inspection, and why would it be important for a seller to consider doing one?
Okay, well, a seller's or pre-inspection is a seller actually having the inspection versus the traditional buyer coming in and having their inspector. And they're probably still going to do that on top of a seller's inspection.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that just a little bit, and that creates some problems, but not really. But there's several advantages to it. One of the advantages are, you've made your calculations, what you want to sell the house for, you've gone back and forth, and boom, you've come to a price, and then all of a sudden they come back, hey, we want $3,800 worth of repairs. Like, you didn't calculate for that. So if you have
you're going to go in and inspect the home before it ever goes on the market.
Before it ever goes on the market. So then you know about the things, and yeah, it's a little hard, but it's, we know about the problems earlier. We can get multiple contractors in here to give us estimates, and that $3,800 may be only $2,200 if we get competitive offers, and we have time to do it. Another thing is that, let's say that $3,800 problem, the buyer comes in and they get a contractor that they know, hey, pad that estimate a little bit, let's make it $6,000, and then I want $6,000 off the price of the house. And and I've seen it happen, and you eliminate the buyer's ability to get you down on the price of the house if you fix all the major issues on the front end. Another big advantage is, and I know Margie can speak more to this, but now we have a due diligence contract, which to my understanding is kind of like layaway. You put a certain amount towards the article of clothing, the house, and if you move forward with it, it gets credited. But if not, you lose it, but you can walk away for any or no reason. So think about it. If you're a buyer and you're looking at two houses, house A and house B, and one's been pre-inspected and one hasn't, and there's a chance that there may be some surprises here, there's more of a chance that I might lose my due diligence or my layaway money, where the other one, no surprises, it's already been inspected. So which one's going to be, everything else being equal, which one is going to be a little more attractive for a buyer?
Yeah, you're really just presenting the house in a way that you can say, hey, we've already done a deep dive and we've addressed any of those issues up front. In fact, and don't you offer that report to the buyer saying, hey, it's already been inspected?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the seller's property, but normally they use it as a marketing tool. Like, hey, I've seen them, they'll print out several copies, put it on the kitchen table and say, this is what he found, and here's all the receipts of everything that we had fixed. It's like the ultimate gesture of transparency, like, wow. If I'm looking at a bunch of houses, I'm like, this guy, he told me about the warts and all, and he fixed it.
That's right, yeah.
So it's just a lot more attractive. I mean,
we're not used to transparency in our culture.
Yeah. Well, and I talked to a realtor a couple of weeks ago, and he had an interesting spin. He said he does pre-inspections with all his listings. He sells them as is, but he does pre-inspections on them. So you see what he's doing is, he's, it's like you said, it's a competitive market where you're getting multiple bids and sometimes way above market price. But then he's cutting out the chance for the the back end, getting them down on price or whatever for repair negotiations. And the market is such right now that you can do that. I don't know if you can do that in all markets, but
right. Well, the other piece that I really, and we've talked about this in other shows, where really you're taking that element of stress out. If you wait and then you find out all of the things that are wrong with your home after you're 2 or 3 weeks into the transaction, it adds a lot of anxiety to the process, because you're already staying up late, packing boxes, trying to figure out where you're going to go, still trying to work, still trying to manage your family, and then now we've got to figure out how to deal with these repair issues. Right. If you can prevent that from happening, to me, there's an element of just calmness that it brings to that future sale when you do go to sell that home, because there's no surprises.
Yeah, and as Gary Keller calls it, bulletproofing the deal.
Right.
So in one of his books, I think Shift or something like that. But I do want to address the elephant in the room, though, the downside of pre-inspections.
Sure.
Because the immediate thing is, well, I get this thing, I pay for this pre-inspection, I do all these repairs, and then they come in with their inspector, and he finds a bunch of stuff, and then I got to repair everything again. That's true. The buyer is going to come in with their inspector. Not always. Sometimes they'll go with the pre-inspection, but they're going to find some stuff. Here's the way I look at it. You have 2 inspectors inspect the same house, and there's 4 major items. They both should find those 4 major items. Their list of small items, 15 to 20, small rubbing doors, sticking windows, things like that, are going to be varied. I mean, it's, like if we gave everybody here a subjective test, tell us what the Cold War effect that it had on your family economics. Well, like our answers are going to be the same. It's a subjective thing. So what I'm getting at is, if I sent two inspectors to inspect the same house, hopefully they both find the four major things, but their list of smaller things are going to be different, and I expect them to be different. So if we go in and do a pre-inspection, I always say that if they come in with their buyer's inspector and they find something major, i.e. over $500 or a major safety issue that we missed, we're going to refund your money on that.
Wow,
pre-inspection.
that's impressive.
Yeah, but his list of small things are going to vary. And he's not going to come in and say it's perfect. I'm sure I can go behind him and find a list of small things that he. When I say him, I mean him or her, gals. We do have a female inspector too. But I don't expect. I do expect the small things to be different. But if there's a major discrepancy, we'll refund the money.
Awesome, that's great. Well, I do appreciate you kind of educating our listeners here. Really, that's for anyone that's thinking about selling their home. A pre-inspection is something that they could consider and really weigh some of these advantages. Where could they find more information about the value of a pre-inspection?
Sure. Chris, just go to our website, homeinspectioncarolina.com, and if you click on, there's a resource tab there too. We have that 10 ways to get a cleaner home inspection report that we went over last week. And also there's a pre-inspection checklist, or what the inspector is going to be looking for. I highly recommend getting a pre-inspection, but if you don't do that, at least print out that checklist and go through it, preferably not the night before the inspection, but start out about 2 weeks before. And if you go through that list, I promise you'll get a lot better home inspection report.
Great, awesome. And if they need to do a home inspection, whether they're selling or buying, what's the best phone number to reach you and your company?
It is 704-542-6575. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Yeah, and what was that number one more time?
Oh, 704-542-6575.
Awesome, Preston, you're always amazing. It's always great to have you as an expert contributor on Russia Radio, and glad to have you as a friend. So.